I've been fishing with Daiwa reels for a long time now. I have a ton of Daiwa reels in my rod locker right now. I'm not sponsored by Daiwa, so this is an unsponsored reel review. I was wanting to get a reel that was a little bit more high end, so I decided to go with the Daiwa Tatula Elite. I've had one for about 3 to 4 months now, so I thought I'd share my experiences with the reel. If after watching this review, you guys decide to get this reel, please use the link that's in the description of today's video. Helps out the channel, lets the company know that I sent you. So the Daiwa Tatula Elite comes in 3 different gear ratios. One's the 6.3 to 1, 7.1 to 1, and an 8.1 to 1. I got the 7.1 to 1 gear ratio. That's what I like to use for a lot of my dragging, my jigs. These reels come in at 6.7 ounces. And another thing that's really important when it comes to reel is knowing the line capacity of the spool. For 12-pound test, it can carry 150 yards. For 14-pound test, it can carry 125 yards. So the Daiwa Tatula Elite is made out of aluminum. It's got 11 pounds of drag, which I think is good. And then it's on the 100 size reel, so it's a little bit more compact than a lot of the other reels on the market, but it has a specifically designed deeper spool, which is gonna help you carry a lot more line on your reel. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is castability. Anytime we're getting a reel, especially a high-end reel, we need to know how well it's going to cast. This reel has been casting very well for me. I've been throwing jigs on it, Carolina rigs, some bigger worms, buzz baits, a bunch of different things with the reel, and it casts really well. Haven't had a lot of backlashes, but even still, it's got a really easy way to adjust on the fly. You obviously can use this dial right here, and then you obviously have the normal one that all reels have. So primarily I've been using this reel so far with Carolina rigs, worm fishing, jigs, buzz baits. This is the 7:1 to 1 gear ratio. I feel like it's the great middle ground to where you can slow down if you need to and you can speed up if you need to. That's why I like going with the 7:1 to 1 gear ratios. I've got it paired up with a 6 cents unicorn rod. This unicorn rod is super light and super sensitive. This reel is also light, which also helps give me the most sensitivity I can get out of the rod. So I've been pairing it up with 15 and 18 pound test fluorocarbon line. I like to go with K9 fishing line and the Pro 100 for an application like this. One of the things that I really like about this reel is the deeper spool. That deeper spool comes in key when you're throwing heavy jigs, a swing head jig, making bomb casts with a buzz bait. It just gives you a lot of line to play with. So when you're making those extra long casts, you don't have to worry about casting out all your line. You can put a little bit of a braid backing on there like I like to do, and you still have room for about 100 yards of line. I like having at least 100 yards of whatever my main line is going to be on my spool at a time, so that way I never have to worry about, you know, making a cast that burns up all my line. And that way, if I have to break off or I spool it a little bit, I have enough line on there to get me through the day. Other reels in the Daiwa lineup have a little bit shallower of a spool, and there have been times where I have had those issues where I've ran out of line. I'm throwing a Carolina rig, making bomb casts, and I end up spooling all my line off the reel and getting down to my backing. That's not something that I like to have happen, so having this deeper spool on the Tatula Elite is a plus. I have caught fish so far using this reel. No complaints with the drag. You can cinch it down, you can lighten it up. I like the adjustability on the fly. It's labeled, so you know exactly where you want to be with the different baits that you have on or the different conditions that you're facing. Obviously, sometimes you need to turn everything up. If you got a lot of wind, if you got a light bait, loosen everything up a little bit if you got less wind and a heavier bait. Now, for the main reason why you guys came to the video, do I recommend this reel or not? I definitely do recommend this Daiwa Tatula Elite reel. It's a little bit on the higher end. It's a $250 reel, so it's not the cheapest one out there, but some of the features that I really like that makes me want more of these is that deeper spool, the smaller compact 100 size, the 11 pounds of drag is nice as well. I like the adjustability, and it just casts really well. And when I've been fighting fish, it's just worked really well for me. I like that these come in different styles with the 6.3, the 7:1 to 1, and the 8:1 to 1. There's also a pitch and flip version. So if you want to add that to your arsenal for your pitching and your flipping, they also make one specifically designed for that. So since getting my first Tatula Elite reel, I've added more to the arsenal, and I actually have more on the way. This is definitely a reel that I've been replacing a lot of my Tatula SVs with. I like the smaller, more compact reel size, along with that deeper, specifically designed spool for this. It's very light, pairs up with these unicorn rods or any light rod for that matter very, very well. You're gonna get a lot of sensitivity. I like the different gear ratios because you can also use this if you want to crank with that 6.3, throw reaction baits, and you can just really bomb cast with that deep spool. And remember guys, if this video helped you make a decision on whether you want to buy this reel or not, please use the affiliate link that is down in the description. If you're going to pair up any line with this when you go to buy it, I also have a discount code down there for you guys to use. My discount code for a K9 fishing line is Luna10. It'll save you 10% off some line to spool up this new reel with.